The deaths of star Gene Hackman and his wife are being looked into. There's more proof. It gives a different picture of when the couple's last days were. Hackman and his wife were found dead in their New Mexico home last month. Hackman, who was a legend and star in Hollywood, withdrew from the public eye and fame one day. The news of his and his wife's deaths, on the other hand, left more questions than answers. A shocking find that disproves all past theories has only just been found. People say he has a secret study, letters, and a life he never talked about. What did he hide? Why did he leave everything behind? The truth is finally out, and it's even stranger than any movie he's ever made. This story is about to go in a crazy new direction, so stay with us as we go deeper, stay deeper, life away from the sun. People will always remember Eugene Hackman for his unforgettable parts in The French Connection and Unforgiven. He wasn't like any other movie star. Besides that, he was a strong person. He made a living as an actress that most people could only dream of. He is also a two-time Academy Award winner who had been out of the spotlight for a long time. Hackman did something strange when he was at the top of his game. He left Hollywood, which is something that not many people ever do. He didn't say goodbye to his fans with a tour or a big show. He just went silent. Hackman retired in 2004, though, and he and his wife Betsy Arakawa moved to Santa Fe to live a quiet life. He tried to stay out of the press and never said why he left. Arakawa, who used to play the piano classically, co-founded Pandora's, a store in Santa Fe that sells home furnishings. Their strong ties to the community are clear. That being said, what he did made people uncertain. They didn't know if he was just sick of Hollywood or if there was something else going on. At the same time that fans were still trying to figure out why the actor went so quickly, the shocking news came out that Gene Hackman and his wife had died. But their death wasn't the only thing that shocked everyone. Everyone is shocked by how the bodies were found. The whole thing is still a mystery because of the strange details and unsolved questions. Still a mystery because of the strange details and unsolved questions. What took place in Hackman's isolated home when the doors were closed? Why did the truth not come out sooner? Hold on tight because this story has a surprise ending that no one saw coming. There have been a lot of sad stories about Hollywood's death and cause, but the deaths of Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa have made people wonder more than they can answer. On February 26, 2025, the star and his wife were found dead in their home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Even though their death was already sad, the strange events that led to it have made this story even more disturbing. It had been a while since Gene Hackman, who was 95 years old, got Alzheimer's. Some of his close friends said he had changed a lot in the past few months, and that he just wasn't the same guy. It was hard to look at. As his health got worse, he avoided going out more and stayed home more. But there was something else going on. His friends and family noticed that he seemed anxious lately. He told a friend that someone was looking at him. It's possible that his sickness was making him think that way. Perhaps it wasn't. We have no idea. A contractor named Jesse Kessler found out about it when he got worried. He had worked for the couple for over 16 years as a builder and Hackman handyman. They hadn't talked to him in a while, and something didn't seem right. He chose to have a security guard check on them because of this. What they found looked like something from a scary movie. Betsy was lying on the floor of the bathroom next to a space heater that had tipped over. There were medication bottles and pills all over the place nearby. It was then that they found Hackman in another room. Afterward, Jesse, still shaken, said, "That was one of the worst days of my life." While the cops looked around, something even stranger took place. Bear and Nikita, the couple's dogs, kept running around the house. They kept getting first responders to follow them from room to room, as if they had something to say. They finally came to a stop where Hackman's body was. That wasn't the only strange thing, though. The third dog they had was named Zinna and was found locked in a box. She died of not drinking enough water and not eating enough. Why did they lock her up? Why didn't anyone ask for help? Questions that we might not be able to answer. The police moved quickly to figure out how they died. Betsy died of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, a rare illness that is spread by rat poop. But her death made things even less clear. How did she get such a rare illness in a fancy, clean house? At the same time, detectives found that Hackman died of heart disease that was made worse by his Alzheimer's. Police think he might not have known that his wife had died. He might not have known what was going on around him for days while he was in the house with her by himself. Moreover, one of the most disturbing things was how empty the house looked. Like Time had stopped. The food on the kitchen counter was still there, ready to be eaten. There was an empty cup of tea next to Hackman's desk. There was no sign of a fight, and no one was asking for help. Strange things hadn't been seen by the neighbors. The way their bodies were found was another thing. Hackman was still sitting in his chair, with a note in front of him that was only partially written. Betsy was upstairs with her hands folded over her chest in a way that made it look like someone had put them there with care. Their pets have also been very important in this story. Xena, their 12-year-old Australian Kelpie mixed dog, was found mummified in a crate. She had died of thirst and hunger, so poisoning or an illness could not have killed her. While the other two dogs, Bear and Nikita, were still alive. They allegedly led police to Hackman's body, showing how close the dogs were to their owners. But their sudden and almost strange deaths have made people wonder if this was just a sad case of getting old and getting sick. Or do we need to know something else? It's said that Hackman did a study, so let's talk about that. What's hidden under the house? Gene Hackman's home in Santa Fe, New Mexico, was always known as a tranquil haven. He spent most of his later years there with his wife Betsy. But after they were dead, the cleaning and investigation team found a room that no one seemed to have seen before. It had been there for years without anyone knowing about it. Hackman's friends and family say he never brought it up. It was like a secret he wanted to keep hidden. No one could touch that part of his mind. After the cleaning crew and cops made sure the house was empty, they searched every room to finish their investigation. They came across a door. From the outside, it looked like it was locked and never meant to be opened. The door was finally forced open after a lot of work, and what they saw inside shocked everyone. The room wasn't really empty as you might think. A lot of the shelves and books were dirty with dust, but the desk in the middle was surprisingly clean. On top of it was an old typewriter, with a blank sheet of paper inside, ready to be written on at any time. There were many old, yellowed books on the shelves. All of them were about the same things: crime, codes, and closed cases. Some books had pencil notes in them, and other books had pages that were marked. Most importantly, they found a bunch of papers in the desk drawer, including handwritten notes, letters that were never sent, and an unfinished book called The Truth We Bury. The typewriter looked like it had been used recently, before the room lockdown, because the ink on its pages was still wet. In the first few pages of the manuscript, the main character was introduced as an experienced Hollywood actor who had lived a great life but kept a secret from everyone. The story was about a character who never wanted to talk about a bad thing that happened in the past and a strange room he tried to hide from everyone. It seemed like Hackman had written a scary premonition about himself. There was a stack of letters next to the copy. Many of them had never been sent. Some were old and yellowed, while others looked like they were made not long ago. One stood out more than the rest. No one had ever heard of the person it was sent to. The name didn't belong to any of Hackman's friends, family, co-workers, or acquaintances. The letter was broken up, as if the person who wrote it had been thinking about what to say before starting to write. I feel bad about some things and wish I had talked about them a long time ago, but some facts are better kept hidden. Did they say something? Strange writings from a long time ago? It was very strange in that room because of the letters. No one knew for sure. Besides the text and letters, there were other things in the room that made us wonder more. On the desk, an old picture was lying on its back. And the most important question was, did Hackman leave out something? There were whispers and guesses. Because of the strange circumstances of their deaths, there were many probes. The first tests for carbon monoxide poisoning came back clear. There were no signs of wrongdoing. But health experts didn't understand why a rare virus like hantavirus was found in cities. Since hantavirus usually shows up in rural areas with lots of rodents, it is very rare for it to show up in a clean home. There were also rumors and conspiracy ideas going around online that made the story even more complicated. One of these claims said that bodies had been found in a secret cave under the Hackman home. But these stories have been debunked by reliable sources, which shows how important it is to trust verified information during these tough times. Another thing that came to light was the problems guardians face. Emma Hemming Willis, who is married to actor Bruce Willis and has frontotemporal dementia, talked about how important it is for caregivers to have support systems. She did this by comparing Arakawa's part in Hackman's life. She stressed that caregivers often put their own health last while taking care of others, bringing attention to how important neighborhood support is. To make things even more complicated, different accounts have said different times that Betsy died. The death certificate says she died on February 11, but Dr. Josiah Child from Cloudberry Health says Betsy called his office on February 12 to make an appointment. This difference has made people curious and added another level of uncertainty to the probe that is already going on. In the middle of all these strange details, a point of contention has been the lack of security video from the Hackman home. The location of surveillance cameras in the home has not been confirmed by the police. If these kinds of tools had been in place, the missing footage could have given important clues about what happened before the couple died. The fact that the FBI is involved in the case has made people even more curious. The deaths are being looked into by the police, who are carefully looking at all the evidence, from medicines to electronics, to try to figure out how the couple died. A lot of questions and theories have been raised about all of these strange facts, like the rare illness that killed Betsy, Hackman's paranoia, the unclear timeline, and the missing security video. Their deaths may have been caused by health issues, but some people think something more sinister may have occurred. People also paid attention to the couple's large estate, which was believed to be worth £62 million. It is said that Hackman's will only gave Arakawa his money. Since she died before him, there were questions about the property. Legal experts say that Hackman's 3 children from his first marriage may get the wealth if he doesn't update his will. This new development makes a situation that was already very complicated even more so. The complicated language in Arakawa's will, which gave her money to Hackman first and then to charity if they both died within 90 days of each other, makes things even more difficult. As people tried to process these new information, rumors started to spread that there was a secret cave under Hackman's house and that the FBI had found some very scary things in it. Some sensationalist stories even said that many bodies might be buried underground, but reputable fact-checking sites like Snopes have debunked these claims, saying that such crazy theories aren't backed up by proof. Since then, people have been paying attention to Hackman's wealth, which is thought to be worth 62 million British pounds. His will said that Arakawa was the only person who would get anything from it. Diego Hackman is the only person who would get anything from it. However, since she died before him, intestate succession rules say that his 3 children from a previous marriage, Christopher, Elizabeth, and Leslie, might get the estate. The fact that they died so close together and the specifics of their wills make things even more difficult. Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's deaths have also left a hole in the hearts of people who knew them and loved their work. As the searches go on, we hope that more information will come to light, which will honor their memories and the life they lived together. Finally, as authorities continue to try to figure out what happened before the couple died, the world waits for answers to the many questions that have come up because of this sad story. People all over the world are interested in a real-life mystery that is connected to the memory of movie star Gene Hackman. What really happened behind closed doors at the Hackman home? Like, subscribe, and click on the next movie on your screen. Then tell us what you think in the comments below.